Okay, guys, this is my Infernalist summoner, skeleton Arsonists. It's a very good build, very tanky, very high damage. I like definitely the hybrid version, you can see, and I'll explain why. It's in my opinion, it has very superior survivability together with superior damage, so it's a no-brainer for me. At very least, it has very similar survivability to the CI version and the high energy shield version. Yeah, let's look at the stats first. You can see I'm focusing on maxing all res, including chaos, one extra res. You'll see the note extra max res, and oops, sorry, a big trade, and including very high block. So it's a very tanky build. I'm for damage wise, I think that it's very compatible with damage focused builds, but it's much tankier. So let's see what I'm focusing on and what texts I'm using in order to make the skeletons crit much more often. So first, this is the path I'm using. I'm using the mana here to go to the energy shield and intelligence node. I'm using the mana because I'm using mind over matter. This way, not only the enemies have to go through my energy shield here, they have to go through my life and mana as well, which makes my effective HP very high, especially considering that I like using my flask, right? My flasks. Now, when an enemy hits you, and if your energy shield goes down, and let's say your mana goes down to half, you can immediately pop off your mana flask. I'm usually actually using the mana flask almost constantly, as when I use Pain Offering, you see my mana drops down very heavily, and Pain Offering is absolutely mandatory to keep uptime off. So yeah, you'll see. This is where I'm patting through, of course, the minion damage nodes here, then the minion life nodes. The minion life is very important. You'll see why, but in a nutshell, you have to keep your minions alive in order for them to do damage, otherwise they're useless, right? You can have as fast revival as you want, but they will die so quickly if you don't have very good resistances of them, including chaos resistance, which is a very dominant late game. So yeah, definitely focus on life as well, not only the energy shield. Then I'm going through this area here, the minion area, the faster resummon of minions together with a lot of life. Again, try taking as many energy shield jewel sockets as possible. They're absolutely OP. They're worth around, I would say, around 2 notables. So definitely go through as many jewels as possible. All those are worth at least 2 points. And if you have 1 point jewels, always take them. They're very strong, as long as you have the currency, of course, to purchase something decent. I'm focusing, as you can see here, critical damage bonus, attack speed, and energy shield for me, right? So yeah, but I have seen guys going through this area here. I don't like it. Why? Because it costs 1 more point, and it's still, I don't need those. I don't need these mana regeneration nodes. I'm using my flask, and it has enough charges, especially during mapping. and while bossing, you're destroying the boss before even reaching like third of the charges of the any boss. You're before reaching the a third of the charges of your mana flux. So I don't understand this pad, but yeah, probably some very mind over matter focused builds are using those, and it makes sense for them. Just I don't think that for the hybrid version it makes much sense. The no the attributes here are very useful. They are very hard to include in the gear, at least at this moment, before GGG actually changes how your resistances are decreased during your mapping, because you're getting additional penalties at different tiers of maps. I think around 6th and 11th tier you're getting extra resistance penalties. Then you can start removing some of your resistances and focusing more on attributes, right? Up until this time, I think that the attributes are, at least for now, very, very useful. Here, Minion survivability notes, Minion critical damage notes. This point is something that I just keep up until I have 4 here to use this for a faster start of energy shield recharge. This will mean that you have very, very quick start of energy shield recharge. Probably it will go under 2 seconds. So it will be very, very good for bosses. Not for mapping that much, but for mapping I'll show you what I'm using. So here other minion crit notes, Minion survivability notes, intelligence definitely worth 1 point, because we have to take this. This is so good, 60% energy shield recharge. This point is absolutely mandatory, 25% increased energy shield together with 1 to all maximum resistances. This is insane note. Gives you a lot of survivability against elemental plus the energy shield. And this is like a note mandatory for every summoner build. Reduced reservation. We are going to this to the do the damage path. We then take this additional survivability. Here, this is a very good note. 20% additional physical damage reduction and 23% chaos. Those are the main damage types in the game. I don't know. This is definitely different from Path of Exile 1, where the elementals or the elemental damage was dominant. Here it's not. It's like chaos and physical are by far, at least I feel that, right? It's I don't have the data to support it, but I feel that it's really the chaos damage especially is very dominant, and I don't see much of lightning damage and cold damage. Okay, so here we are going to this part. Here is all minion related. The minion damage is very good here, and the area of effect is decent. I would say that yeah, probably gives you some additional overlaps for the Arsonists. Minions revive 25% faster is very good. It's something I don't understand why GGG did that, but when you're going away from your minions, they're dying and then they're reviving, and this counter starts that is considering your minions dead, and this helps. Those nodes here, the faster revival nodes, they help for this thing mainly. Your minions are rarely dying, mainly from corrupted blood and Physis extra fire, Physis extra chaos. Those are the things that can kill your minions. They're very, very rarely dying though, and this is key for your survivability and your damage. So this is the 3. At least I consider this very efficient, right? Many may disagree. At least this works for me. My calculations are showing this is the best route for my build, right? Everybody has his own preference, right? And until we have path of building, we will not know for sure. Okay, so let's go to a small explanation of the Ascendancy. I'm sure that you have seen that, but this node here is by far, at least in my opinion, the best node for the class. I would even say all the Ascendancies. This is absolutely insane node. 20% damage reduction is what this gives you. This hound never dies. This is your hound here. It automatically gains sockets as long as you are leveling. You can see here my hound is level 31. Definitely very crazy animal. I'm giving her 2 support gems, fire mastery and minion mastery to get her the hound to 2 extra levels, fire exposure and meat shield and strip away, which increases the effect of your fire exposure. This is very good for the Arsonists, but it burns the enemies for a percentage of its HP, and this is a big percentage. This is I think it, considering the HP of the hound, which is life is 34,000. The 34,000 is insane amount, and it makes very high. You can notice the damage on small minions. It burns them very quickly, and it helps your survivability tremendously. So this is the first thing you're taking always on this Ascendancy. The second thing, because you have to path through this section here, you need this node specifically. This is something that you have to take. At the moment it's not very useful. However, this section here is very good. You reserve 25% of your life. I have already reserved life, although you don't see it here. Actually, you see it as reserved below. I have reserved 50% of my life in order to get spirit and energy shield. Those nodes are very good because of the energy shield scaling for once, and because of the spirit gives you can see I have 423 spirit at the moment, and I need to upgrade my scepter. Not very good at the moment, but I can kill everything in the game very easily. So it works. The best scepter is +5, more spirit than that, and the base that summons 2 skeletons, so you can sacrifice one of them for the pain offering. At the moment this is what I'm working with. I'm sure that I'll be able to purchase something better very soon. So I sold this for 7 divines, so probably 10-15 divines will be a better scepter. So this node, as I mentioned, gives you spirit, which means more skeletons. This one gives you extra energy shield, which gives you more energy shield, right? And you can see I have almost 700 energy shield, right? 7,000, sorry, energy shield. So it's very decent amount, plus the 1500 life and 1200 mana. It's insane HP pool.